Hi, this is Dave from Chicken River Off-Road. Today we're going to show you how to make a pumpkin snorkel topper for your rig just in time for Halloween, so stay tuned. Here are the tools and materials that you're going to need to make your pumpkin snorkel topper. You're going to need a plastic pumpkin that's hollow on the inside and has the eyes and the mouth cut out. You want it to be hollow because this is going to be the top of your snorkel, so you need good airflow down into the engine bay. This one has a light inside, a light bulb in the back that you plug in and it lights up. You don't need to have one like that, but if you have one and you have some means like an inverter inside your rig, then you can make it light up at night, which is kind of cool. We're going to need a tape measure or a ruler so that you can measure the diameter of your snorkel tube so you know how big to cut out the bottom of the pumpkin to make it fit. If your snorkel isn't held on with a hose clamp, you're going to need some hose clamps that will go around the top of your snorkel so that you can hold the pumpkin onto the snorkel. We're going to use a Sharpie to draw the diameter of the snorkel tube onto the bottom of the pumpkin to cut out. To cut it out, we're going to use a wallboard saw. You could also use a multi-tool with a serrated edge or the saw blade on a multi-tool. You're going to need some metal L-shaped brackets, the kind that you use to hold shelving up. We're going to put 3 of these on the bottom of the pumpkin and then use the hose clamp to hold the brackets onto the snorkel tube. You're going to need a screwdriver to take the top of the snorkel off, and you're going to need some type of glue or other adhesive to hold the shelf brackets onto the bottom of the pumpkin. I ended up using rivets also because I figure 2 is 1 and 1 is none, and the rivets hold the brackets in place while the glue dries. Start by taking the top of your snorkel off. Most snorkels have a hose clamp and a normal flathead screwdriver. Once you get the top off the snorkel, go ahead and measure the diameter of the tube that's up top there. That's how big you're going to have to cut the bottom of the pumpkin out. Measure it at least 2 different ways, just in case your tube is an oval shaped and it's not circular. Go ahead and mark the diameter of your snorkel tube on the bottom of the pumpkin and cut it out using that wallboard saw, multi-tool, whatever you feel like cutting out the bottom of the pumpkin with. It's thin plastic. You could probably even just use a pocket knife to slice through it. It's probably better to stay a little small rather than a little big if you get close to the marks that you made, just so that it's easy to slide the pumpkin onto the snorkel and have it hold if there's too much material there. But if you cut away too much, then it's going to be really loose. Your snorkel won't seal very well, and it might actually come off while you're driving down the road, and we don't want that to happen. Once you get the hole cut out, go ahead and test fit it on your rig to make sure that it fits on top of the snorkel. If you're happy with the way the pumpkin fits, go ahead and put the brackets on the bottom of the pumpkin. I used Gorilla Glue that expands and rivets on the bottom of the pumpkin to hold the brackets in place. The rivets may not have been needed, but they provide extra security, and they also hold the brackets while the glue's drying on them, so they serve like clamps. Once the glue is dried and it's cured, put the hose clamp over the top of the snorkel and then slide the pumpkin in place. Once you get the pumpkin on, slide the hose clamp up over the brackets and tighten it down really good to hold the pumpkin onto the snorkel. Once you get your pumpkin mounted, it's time to take your rig for a test drive. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the latest videos from Chicken River Off-Road. Thanks for watching and happy Halloween.